What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you collect fountain pens or stationery or anything like that, obviously the collection continues to grow and you have to figure out storage. So a couple of videos ago, we discussed that Leslie and I both got these things, and we actually store, we've got a couple of them around the house, and we store our fountain pens in them. And they work really well. And then over here in this room, I've got this really cool writing desk that we store all of our stationery, like notepads and stuff in. The thing you might not think about is ink, because as you collect pens, you end up collecting ink. I don't know if you found this out or not, but it's definitely a thing. So I'm going to show you, first of all, what we use to store our ink, where it is. And then I'm going to show you how we organize what's what and how we know what's what. I don't have a very good system for this, but Leslie has a fantastic system for this. So let me show you our storage. So this right here is a cabinet that I got on Wayfair, I think. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's pretty cool. It's got lights on the inside, and it's got a motion sensor, so you can when you walk up to it, it turns on, or you can leave it on all the time or whatever. And then it's got these kind of like blue lights, white lights, and also like some amber lights as well. And so up here you'll see this is pretty much all diamine on the diamine on the top shelf. And then down here we have Pilot, Sailor, Twisby, Jacques Urban, Diatramentus, Endless, forget what those are called, some other Pilot stuff. And then down here we have a bunch of Lamy. We have a bunch of Colorverse, although the Colorverse kind of is thrown off because the amount of inks that come in the ink vent, right? And then down here, I am a huge fan of Wearingeul inks. So we have a ton of Wearingeul inks, and then we also have some Monteverde and some other little stuff here and there, Pelican Edelstein, some Ferris Wheel Press, etc. And then down here, this is just a random bin that we keep all of our, some parts and stuff like that. But that's the general rundown of the actual storage. I've tried a bunch of different little ink swatching cards, like the little ones, and they'll have like the leaf on them or something, and you have that like shape of a leaf, and you like can swatch on it. This is this Color or Wearingeul? This is a Wearingeul book. I'll leave a link to this too. I like this. This works really well. The way I do my swatches most of the time is like a heavy swatcher on the outside, a thinner line in the middle, and then I write it in there. The only downside is this is sort of chronological. So basically, starting from here is when I started this. I think this was started with the ink, the color vent from Colorverse is when I started this particular book and went to this system, and then I moved all of my inks into it. And now, so like the latest one that I have is, what's the latest ink that we have in here? Robert Oster Hollywood Mullet, because I just chronologically put them in there. So it's not super organized, but it's okay for me. But we have like 200 inks, I think, over there. And so Leslie has a much better system. So I'll just let her explain what her system is, because it's pretty rad.
Okay. So my setup is this notebook. This is a Levenger notebook with 2-inch disc. You can get different sizes. I had little disc, but I put so many papers in here, I had to get 2-inch discs. So this comes, it already has like a little folder here. I have some dividers with pockets, super nerdy. So colored different pocket dividers, and then some regular just paper dividers are back here. We'll talk about those though. So here's how I stay organized. first of all, this is what is currently inked and what it is in. So I include like a little swatch, what pen it is and what the color is, because the number of times I forget what's in my pens is a lot. So, and I am of the belief that if I have it, I want it inked, even though most people like just have a few inked, but I like to use all of mine, because why not? This next section is just a list of pens, so by brand, so that's its own section, but we're talking about ink today. So this section starts, it's all done by brand. So I swatch everything twice. So here's some colorverse colors, and it just goes through, and they're in alphabetical order also, of course. And so then it just goes through the different brands and all the inks we have for those brands. This was the first time I found use for washi tape too, so that was fun. Also, while we're talking about Levenger, notice that they have different types of paper. This is just dot paper. Oh, that's dot paper too. This paper, like is that like called a Cornell style paper? Like with the, anyway, they have lots of different paper if you like different paper. So inks by brand. So then the second, so this is the first swatch, which kind of identifies, like if I was swatching this, I'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of a brown. And then I would swatch it again, and I'd have them sectioned by color family, basically. So green tab, green section. So this is all the green inks we have. And some of these get a little questionable, like you might think one's more blue, or maybe this is more gray, but I base it on what the ink makes me think of and how it lands on the paper first. It might turn a different color though sometimes. Purple tab here, so all of our purple family inks. And then it goes into red. And under the red section, I've also included like the oranges and the pinks, just so I can easily find them. Blue, we have lots of blue. Lots of blue. And then the white tab is just kind of the miscellaneous leftovers. So black, silvers, and grays kind of fall all together for me. And then of course browns. And again, you can see how some of these get questionable. The bottle might look a certain color. It might make me think of a certain color. So then it just ends up there, and the color obviously can shift. But that's how I stay organized. So every ink gets 2 swatches by color family and by brand, and then I can easily find what I'm even using.
And the cool part about
the swatch.
The cool part about these rings, right, is you can take a sheet out without doing damage to it and put it in somewhere else if you wanted to.
Yeah, so move it or edit. So like this currently inked page, this gets redone, right? So like whenever I go through and update, I can just take this out and put a new page in.
Right, and you can put it in the same spot. You can move things around without...
Right.
It's not like a spiral that once you pull it out, you can't do anything.
Yep.
Or if you wanted to add some more sheets to this color or rearrange or whatever. These are super cool.
Yep. The 2-inch are really big, but I think you have to, it looks big like this, but you don't, I'm not writing in this, so it's not really a big deal. And then when you close it, I mean, you can tell for ease of use that the bigger ones are better. It was super tight and it didn't want to open and close easily.
And that's not like traveling with you, right?
No, it just lives here. I mean, it goes from my office to wherever we're swatching, and now it's in the studio. So no, it doesn't go anywhere with me.
That is pretty stinking cool.
Awesome.
It's way better than my system. If you're going to copy anybody, definitely copy her. Because she has it all together. And sometimes, honestly, I go in there and cheat off of her thing. I'm like, I'm looking for a green ink, and I'll just go into her green pages and check it out. And that Levenger stuff is really, really cool. You can get some of it on Amazon. We have a bunch of it. We're going to probably do some Levenger videos because that stuff is really good. I really like it. But it's really easy because those rings, you can like just make it bigger and smaller and do whatever you want with it. We have a few different formats of that stuff. It's really nice, and it's really high quality stuff too. Not sponsored or anything. It just so happens that we like it. We don't even have an affiliate link with them or anything. You can get some of it on Amazon, so I'll show you some of that stuff in the description and the pinned comment. But no, it works really good, and she stays organized, way more than me. So I just want to share that with you today. Ink organization, it's a thing. Let me know in the comments what you do to organize your inks and how you do it. Or, you know, you might not have as many as we do. We have a bit of a problem, but still, it doesn't matter. What do you do to organize your inks? On the paper, like, do you have some sort of book like that to keep track of everything? Do you log every one of your pens? Because that's what I do. I have a little book that I log the date that I put the ink in a particular pen, and each page has a different pen. So let me know. Let me know what you do. And then I also have a spreadsheet on Excel or Google Sheets maybe, for all of my pens, but I don't have it for my inks. Anyway, let me know what you do to stay organized. And links in the description. Use those links, it'll help the channel. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in the next video.